Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I want to tell you about a girl who was called Unwanted. People said she would never rule anything, but she waited, she studied, and one day she became one of the most famous queens in history. Are you ready? Let's go. She is 6 years old. She sits by a window in a cold, quiet house. Outside, the sky is gray. Elizabeth is not playing with toys. She is reading. In her small hands, she holds a book. It is old. The cover is brown leather. Her tutor, her teacher, gave it to her. Elizabeth loves this book. She reads it every single day. Many words are hard. Some words she does not know at all, but she does not stop. She looks up each new word. She writes it down. She says it again and again until she remembers it forever. Her mother is gone. Her father is far away, busy with his kingdom. Nobody visits her very often, but the book is always there. When Elizabeth feels sad, she opens the book. When she feels afraid, she opens the book. The book never says no to her. One day a teacher looks at her and asks a strange question. "Why do you study so hard, Elizabeth? You're just a girl. Maybe you will never be important." Elizabeth looks down at her book. She does not answer right away. Then she says, quietly, "Then I will be ready anyway." What do you do when the world tells you that you do not matter? What do you hold on to when everything around you keeps changing? Elizabeth's life starts with a shock. When she is only 2 years old, her mother, Anne Boleyn, is killed. Anne was the queen. Her husband, King Henry VIII, is Elizabeth's father. He decides that Anne must die. After this, everything changes for little Elizabeth. Before, people called her Princess Elizabeth. Now they call her something else, a word that means not a real member of the family. It is a cruel word. It is not fair. Elizabeth is still a child. She did not choose any of this, but the word follows her for years. Her home changes too. Sometimes she lives in a nice house. Sometimes the house is smaller and colder. Sometimes there is enough money. Sometimes there is not. Elizabeth learned something important very early. Nothing is certain. Nothing stays the same for long. But Elizabeth has one thing that never changes: her love of learning. She studies Latin, French, and Italian. Latin is a very old language. Many important books in her time are written in Latin. She studies history. She studies mathematics. Her tutors say she learns faster than most boys her age. When Elizabeth studies, the noise in her life becomes quiet. The unfair word does not matter. The uncertain home does not matter. Only the book matters, and the next new word, and the next idea. This is where she feels safe. This is where she feels strong. At school, some people are kind to her. Some are not. A few servants whisper about her mother when they think she cannot hear. Children can be cruel too, even without meaning to be. Elizabeth learns to keep her face calm, even when her heart is hurting inside. She learns this skill early. Show little, feel much, and keep working. Her half-sister Mary is older. Sometimes Mary is kind to her. Sometimes Mary is cold and distant. Elizabeth never knows which sister she will meet on a given day. This uncertainty teaches her something she will use for the rest of her life. Patience. Wait. Watch. Say less than you want to say. Friends, maybe some words in this video are new for you too. Maybe some sentences are still a little hard. That is completely normal. That is good, actually. It means you are learning something new. Keep listening. Keep going. Now Elizabeth is a young woman. And now everything goes wrong. Her half-sister Mary becomes queen. Mary does not trust Elizabeth. Some people around Mary whisper bad things. They say Elizabeth wants to take the throne. They say Elizabeth is dangerous. Mary listens to them. Soldiers come for Elizabeth. They take her to the Tower of London. The Tower is a strong old building. It is also a prison. Many people who go into the Tower never come out again. Elizabeth is scared. She writes a letter to her sister. She says she is innocent. She did nothing wrong. The letter takes too long to write. The boat is waiting. She has to stop writing and go. The door of the tower closes behind her. It is dark. It is cold. Elizabeth does not know if she will live or die. She has no book with her now, no tutor, no lessons, only stone walls and silence and her own thoughts. Days pass, weeks pass, nobody tells her anything. She waits. She thinks about her mother who died in the same place years before. She thinks, maybe this is how it ends for me too. But it does not end. After 2 months, the door opens again. Elizabeth is not free, not yet, but she is alive. They move her to a house far from London. She cannot leave. Guards watch her all day, but she is alive. Part 4 begins now, and this is the quietest part of the story, but maybe the most important part. For years, Elizabeth lives under watch. She is not in prison anymore, but she is not free either. She lives in a house called Hatfield. Guards are outside. Letters are checked before they reach her. She cannot trust many people. One wrong word, one wrong friend, and she could go back to the tower, or worse. Nobody is clapping for Elizabeth during these years. Nobody is writing songs about her. Most people in England do not think about her at all. She is simply a quiet young woman, living far away, waiting. But inside that quiet house, Elizabeth is working. Every single day she studies. She reads books in 4 languages. She practices her handwriting for hours until each letter is perfect. She studies how kings and queens before her made good choices and bad ones. She listens carefully to everyone who visits. She learns who she can trust, little by little. She learns who she cannot. Nobody tells her to do this. Nobody pays her to do this. There is no reward waiting for her. Not yet. She does not know if she will ever be queen. She only knows one thing. If the moment ever comes, she wants to be ready. Some days feel completely pointless. Why study Latin grammar alone in a quiet room when nobody outside even remembers she exists? Why learn the names of foreign ambassadors when she may never speak to them? These are fair questions. Elizabeth does not always have a clear answer, but she studies anyway. She has learned since she was 6 years old that waiting with a book in your hands is better than waiting with empty hands. Money is often short. Some winters, the house is very cold. Some of her closest friends are questioned by guards, and Elizabeth does not know if they will betray her. Fear becomes a normal part of her days, quiet and constant, like the weather. But fear does not stop the studying. It simply sits beside it. Every evening, she opens her old book, the same book from her childhood, worn now, its pages soft from years of reading. She does not open it because someone is watching. She opens it because it is simply who she is, a person who learns, a person who does not stop even when nobody sees her. This is the real story of Elizabeth, not the famous queen in the paintings, but the quiet young woman in a small house, working alone year after year, preparing for a future that might never come. Friends, if you are still watching this video, that already means something important. You are still here. You are still trying to understand a new language. That is not easy, and I am proud of you. If this story is helping you, please subscribe. It truly helps this small channel grow. Then, one ordinary day in November, everything changes. Elizabeth is outside, near an old oak tree at Hatfield. Riders come fast on their horses. They kneel in front of her. They tell her the news. Mary is dead. Elizabeth is queen now, Queen of England. For one moment, Elizabeth says nothing. All the years of waiting, all the years of danger, all the quiet study. They arrive at this single moment, under this one tree. She thinks of her mother. She thinks of the tower. She thinks of the cold house where nobody believed in her. She is 25 years old. She becomes one of the most powerful rulers in the history of England. She speaks many languages, so she can talk directly with ambassadors from other countries. No need for someone else to translate for her. She reads reports late at night. She makes hard decisions about war and peace. People say she works harder than almost anyone around her. And every single evening, no matter how busy the day was, she still finds time to read. Friends, here is a question for you. Do you think Elizabeth became strong because she was born special? Or because she never ever stopped trying, even during the hardest years? Write your answer in the comments below. I really want to know what you think. Elizabeth rules England for 45 years. Under her, the country becomes stronger. Writers like William Shakespeare create some of the most famous plays in history during her reign. The years when she is queen. Ships from England sail across the world. People later call this time the Golden Age. But Elizabeth is old now. Her hands shake a little when she writes. Her eyesight is not as sharp as before. Still, every night a servant brings her a book. Still she reads. Not because anyone tells her to, because it is who she has always been. The girl by the window, the woman in the tower, the queen at her desk. Always learning, always asking one more question. She never marries. She never has children. Some people, long ago, said this made her weak. History says something different. She gave her whole life to one long, patient work, turning a frightened girl with no title into a name that people still remember hundreds of years later. On her last night, they say a book still sits beside her bed. Nobody knows exactly what page she was reading. Maybe that is the right way to end this story. Not with, and she lived happily ever after. Life is rarely that simple, but with an open book. A story that keeps going, even after the person is gone. A question that never fully closes. A queen is not just a woman in a crown. Elizabeth I was once a frightened little girl who was called not a real princess, and later a prisoner who almost lost her head before she ever wore a crown at all. This is the story of Elizabeth I, from a lonely, watched child to one of the most powerful queens in history.